Thank you for listening. If you want to know more about us and our services, please visit our website at www.wsk9co.com. We are here with Melissa, and we're going to be talking about, for February, the matchmaking and, February is kind of a month of love, and how important the relationship and the connection happens with you and your dog, and how it can be different having somebody else involved in the selection of your dog, which is an emotional thing that's pretty hard. And Melissa has one dog that I believe you and Nick selected.
We both picked it out, yeah.
And then a new one that it was, yes, we're getting another dog, and then you just waited to see which one was going to be yours. Mm-hmm. So tell me about your experience going to pick out Cooper when you guys went, and just the process that you went through.
So with Cooper, we were just looking for a dog. We wanted a dog so bad. We found this litter up Jeremy Ranch, Border Collies. So we jumped in our car, went over there, and we kind of, looking back, kind of went into it blind.
Sure.
But we overthought a lot when we were there looking at the litter. It was a litter of 8. And we were just reading into everything. Like, one just only wanted to be on my lap. And like, is this one going to be too clingy, or is it going to be a really good connection? And then there's a super independent one. And is that the one that we want? Because maybe this one works. And we just overthought every single dog. There was one puppy that kept coming up to us, would play with us, and then would distract all the other dogs to get them playing with something, and then come back to us without challenge, like having the other puppies go, and we're like, this is the one we want.
Okay.
So that's Cooper, the one that would trick all the other puppies to go play with the sticks so she could come play with us. Going into it, we kind of read a lot and assumed, like, this is what she's going to be like, and we had all these ideas. Yes, this is the dog we picked out. And then she was like, nope, this is the dog I am. Nope. So we kind of had to stop thinking so much, because we thought we picked out her for certain, like, her personality, but let her kind of correct us. Some stuff was right, but we had to let her show us who she was and kind of erase what we thought, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think we look at things when we're selecting. I think we go into it with an idea of what kind of dog that we want, and then try and make that dog. And what were some of the challenges that you had by having that thought process?
So when you first saw her as a puppy, she was super outgoing, super friendly, and so we immediately thought, oh, she's going to be super friendly. Cooper is friendly, like, don't get me wrong, but she doesn't like big crowds. She doesn't like being approached enthusiastically by strangers, if that makes sense.
Yep.
She's a real body kind of dog. She likes the mountains, of course, but she doesn't enjoy being out and about. And as a puppy, we brought her to some of these places, like to get coffee with us and stuff. Like, oh, she's gonna love this.
Yep.
But no, she doesn't.
Yeah. Do you feel like there were some behavioral challenges, and it's not problems, but challenges from trying to create stuff that really wasn't her?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And what were some of those?
Trying to create a very social dog, and we pushed her further than she was comfortable, and she had to react to tell us, no, I'm not comfortable here. We didn't read her body language at first. We kind of thought, oh yeah, she's just nervous, but she was more nervous and wasn't liking it. She would kind of, I hate saying, but like, suffer through it for us. She would do it like, I don't like this, but I'm going to have coffee with you guys.
Right.
But I don't enjoy being out on the patio by the street. And we had to get to the point where she would bark, and she would be a border collie, react big. She never bit or anything, luckily, but she had to react for us to kind of go, okay, this is not the dog. And it's funny because Nick and I aren't social, outgoing people, but we thought, oh, we have this dog, we need to be. Right. But it was like, no, she would rather be at home. We don't need to push her out to coffee. Yuki likes that kind of stuff. Like, oh, hey, what's up? Cooper, no. That's not her idea of fun.
Yep.
And we had to learn that the hard way.
Right. So going into Yuki, we're going to get another dog, and who knows what we're going to end up with, right?
Yeah.
And so there's 3 of us that went into it. Just, having somebody else select, and I myself had to sit back with a litter and look from an outside perspective, because our mind automatically wants to go to looks, and I would have taken, if I was selecting just solely off of looks and not like selecting a dog for each of us, I probably would have taken Spud because of the shag, like immediately, like looks hands down. That's but I knew all of our big picture goals and what we all needed, and so looking at the whole litter from a different perspective. What was that experience like versus the experience with picking out Cooper?
For Yuki, I would say that one word to describe it would be trust. Nick and I were like, we trust you, and you know me better than I know myself sometimes. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to put trust in this. The right dog's going to come to us.
Yeah.
And having your outside go like, okay, this is how I'm going to analyze. Because I would have been biased too.
Yeah.
I would have read into little things or overthought it. But having somebody go, no, let's be realistic about what your goals are. This is you. Let's read the puppies. And it's been perfect.
Yeah.
Letting Yuki show me who she is rather than having, oh, this is her personality. I'm going to read into it. I'm just, show me what you got. Show me who you are.
Yeah.
And it's been perfect.
And what do you feel like is different when you say it's been perfect? who has she been to you guys, and how has it changed the dynamics of everything?
She's really been a teacher for us. I would say that even though she's such a young dog, like a puppy, and we're teaching her most things, she's kind of teaching us to take a step back and just enjoy the little process.
Yeah.
And not let road bumps or not read into things, but just enjoy the process, learning through it all. She's very trusting. She'll follow us everywhere, but she's also very honest with us too. Like, I don't like this. I don't want to do it. Like, she's very headstrong in that way.
Yep.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Letting us know what she likes, but she's just a fun, yay. Oh, what's over here? I'm great. This is an adventure. I'm happy.
Yeah.
And that's been good for us to kind of train through fun, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
With Cooper, we overthought it. And we overthought what we needed to do. We need to go socialize her. We need to da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And that backfired.
Yeah. Shannon, what questions do you have for Melissa?
I was trying to think of some questions. What would you do different if you were going to pick a dog on your own now? Like, would you just not do that at all? Would you always, have someone help you pick out your dog? Or what would you do different?
Oh, good question. I would do it myself. Well, not only myself, I would ask people. Like, I would ask Joe. I'd ask you. I'd kind of bounce ideas back and be like, this is what I'm thinking. What are your thoughts? Just to get that outside opinion, I think is super, super valuable. To have somebody else kind of that knows the whole picture and doesn't have as much an emotional connection. Because it's hard when you see all this litter of puppies. You're like, I want to love all of you. But you need logic on your side. So I would definitely include somebody else in helping me pick out a puppy.
How has Nick worked through the process with you as far as the whole dog selection and what's his thought process been?
He's been really fun with it. He has much more of a relaxed view on it. When we talked about getting another dog, and he's like, great. I trust you. Let's just get one that's good for Cooper. That was his biggest concern, is getting one that worked well with Cooper.
Yeah.
And so that going into it, he's like, yeah, let's just do it. And he's been really good knowing what we did with Cooper and working with Yuki. One thing that's really stood out to him is their different personalities.
Oh, for sure.
Like getting on the different, it's easy to see like, oh, a dog is a dog is a dog, but that's so not true.
Yeah.
And the stuff that we would train Cooper on, or how we would train her, is not how we train Yuki.
Yeah.
Yuki has different play style. They're almost a different species sometimes.
Sure.
I'm like looking at them, I'm like, okay. And even though Cooper's a border collie, Yuki's part border collie, so different.
Yeah.
And so going into it, I would not assume, oh, I'm getting a border collie, so this is what a border collie is going to be like.
Sure.
Because there are similarities, but
yeah,
you can get a spectrum.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
big time. And
this is a Joe question. I think you should talk a little bit about like how you see Melissa and why you chose Yuki for her, like what the characteristics are and the goals, like with what you wanted the dog to be in your house.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and I go through this with everybody. As you know, one, as Melissa, when we first met, it became, it was, oh, you're my in-laws dog trainer, and then it was, oh, we need to get Joe, and then I came in and knowing and analyzing that whole situation where we didn't have it wasn't behavior modification. We just had to change the way you and Nick were thinking through things.
Exactly.
And what Cooper was saying. And so it's not like, oh, Cooper's a bad dog. It was, no, this is really what Cooper's telling you. So you have to trust what she's telling you.
And we were completely like misinterpreting what she was telling us.
Yep. And you guys have excelled in creating those jobs for Cooper that make the most sense for her, that she now trusts you. And so putting her in some situations that she doesn't like, she's not reactive in them because she knows that you get it.
She just stares at us.
Yeah.
With like get me out of here face.
I get it, but we need to do something about it, right?
Yeah.
And then coming into the circle of being a student and starting to learn to dog train, to you're pretty much going on your own with the business with us at that point when this whole, hey guys, guess what?
Yeah.
And so when I'm looking at dogs and I'm looking at a litter, it doesn't matter if there's 12 or there's 2. It doesn't matter. It's one, it's a feeling of 23 years of dog training and knowing what the dogs are going to become, and also working with people enough to know what the feel of the household is. And that's really more of what I go off of, is because you can't match personality to personality, because that does not work. And that was probably my biggest challenge with Chianti as her being my dog. Is the fascinating thing is she was picked out, Chianti was picked out by the 3 kids, our 3 kids.
Oh, okay.
And so I feel like they picked Chianti because Chianti was so much like me in the household. And so therefore her and I clash, and we still clash at times. I mean, I love her to pieces, and she's definitely would be who I am as a dog. But, so you can't match personality. That's really hard. And so, picking out Yuki, and looking at it all, it was the personality that would fit best into, what the feel of your household is.
Yeah.
And then your lifestyle. And then does this personality fit into what Cooper needs to make your pack stronger and better? But can Yuki fulfill what Nick needs and what you need without causing disruption in a negative way? And so that's kind of the process that I go through of, one, who are you as a dog? And puppies and their personalities, it all stays the same. It's just it gets bigger, right? It's all the same. It's just really cute there, but it's all the same. And so, as I was looking at the 3 dogs, and selecting, it really was, she's got a lot of piss and vinegar. Mm-hmm. She's got a lot of drive, and she has an incredibly strong desire to please. Yep. Where Trigger had really a smaller amount of please and follow me, I'm going to do this, and this is what we're going to do. You already have one of those in the household. Yep. And if you took Trigger into your household, she would shut Cooper down, and Cooper would just like, no, this is not fun. Yeah. Because Cooper has that, fine, I'll just back off. I'll just, where Yuki's like, hey, and Cooper's like, well, I don't really like that, but okay, exactly. And it's not, she doesn't shut Cooper down because she's got this funniness to her, this animation to her. Yeah. That Trigger doesn't have. Trigger is very purposeful in everything that she does, and there's really not a whole lot of spontaneous stuff that happens. Where Yuki has that little spontaneous piece to her. And then Spud is soft, and Cooper would have overpowered him. Yep. Yeah. And so, that's where I go, okay, this is the dog that's going to bring out Cooper, and that's going to be a strong one for Cooper. That Cooper can test and give and take with, that it's not going to be a battle. Yeah. And then, I really feel like with you and Nick that you've got your business side of life, and then you have this adventurous side of life that is so extreme to me, right? I'm surely not going to go ultra running, and I'm surely not going to go snowboarding, and and everybody thinks, well, that's just snowboarding, that's just nothing. Like, that's a lot of adventure for me, and I'm surely not going to put a backpack on and go backpacking through the backcountry. It's just not who I am. Like, I'll get on a horse and do that, but I'm not going to do that, right? And so your adventure style is super spontaneous to me. And you guys are always like, oh, let's do this, and let's, and it's, there's some thought process to it, but not really. Life is just good. Does that make sense?
Oh, it's definitely.
And so
nail on the head.
Yuki needed to balance that. We can do business and we can train, but we also have to be flexible enough to not get stressed out with the adventure piece of it.
And that's exactly
and so it's that was my whole thought process in picking her out for you.
Yeah. And that's exactly how it's happening.
So it's having her in the house should be easy.
Oh, it's,
I mean, in the big scheme of things.
We were actually talking this morning over coffee about, like, Yuki's just always been here. Like,
right.
We were like, oh, we've only had her
not
this long. Like, I know, right?
Like
but
3 months.
Like, no, she's been here for years, and and it has just been easy, and it just fits. And she, especially for Cooper, they're yin yang. They just complement each other so well. Cooper likes to be a little bossy and a little like, I'm going to go tell dogs to go over here, and I'm going to micromanage everything. And Yuki's like, no, you can't micromanage me.
Right.
She shuts her down. Yeah. But then is like, okay, let's go play.
Yeah.
And Cooper doesn't feel challenged or doesn't feel like she has to manage.
Right.
But she keeps Cooper not being so serious.
Yeah.
When Cooper gets her serious managing mode, Yuki goes and like trolls her, and it's hilarious. Yeah. And I love it. I love when she does that. And she does that to me too. Yuki knows how to push my buttons so well already that it's kind of scary. Right. Just yesterday I was, she was working with me, and I got out of the dog was kind of being naughty on the lesson, and I kind of got in the car, and I was like, ugh, kind of, when you're just kind of feeling frustrated and empty, and I hadn't had lunch yet, and I was like hangry. And then Yuki just started being so silly and weird, and like jumped up, did 360s, and then stole my keys and jumped back in the back seat and was playing. Yeah. And I just started laughing. I was like, okay, you knew that I needed. Right. I needed that. Yeah. And then she got all serious back in driving work mode. Yeah. And just, but she knows. But yeah, you're exactly right that we all have our own little piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good. Perfect.
It's good. That's the process that I go through everybody. Mm-hmm. And as we do this podcast and everybody gets to tell their story, there's a lot of different personalities. There's a lot of different matches that have happened of the story. And you have one that hopefully we can get her on as well.
Yeah, I hope so.
That it's first, it's a feeling, right? You have to trust what your dog soul says.
Yep.
That's it. And then you almost can't stop until it's taken care of. Mm-hmm. And so it will be fun to hear everybody's story. And that's the same place that I go to every time. Mm-hmm. I've made people take dogs back. Mm-hmm. Because I have the perfect one that they like, you have to have this dog. And you should not have gotten that, and you need to take it back because this is the dog. And we're not talking just puppies; we're talking adult dogs too. So that was a really good question. That is what I go through. And Chianti's the first dog that I didn't pick out, and Bora is the first dog that I ever picked out for me. I've always had somebody else do it. And so I was picking him for our family, not for me. And so I could remove myself from it because he was going to be everybody's dog, not just my dog. And so I would say, we've had other dogs in the household that fit because they just fit and then they stay and they just fit with us. And we've had other dogs that are like, yep, you're not staying here at all. And so, the first thing is just that feeling of how do you groove into this life? Do you have any? Go ahead.
Well, one thing you said, talk about dog souls. It's kind of, when you said that, it's kind of weird because I've been thinking about that. So I was like, whoa, reading my mind. But I think the right dog brings out your dog soul. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yep.
So stick with me here. This is kind of weird, but I was thinking about with Cooper, I think a part of me was lying about what my dog soul was, trying to make it something different, and she was knowing that I was lying, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Trying to act like this is my training style, or this is what we wanted our dog to do, or this is who I was. Right. I don't like social places, right. So why would I put Cooper in a social place? But with Yuki, I think Yuki's brought out my dog soul and being more comfortable with, no, this is my training style. This is the dog person I am.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the right dog does. And not saying that Cooper's not the right dog for me, of course.
Right. Yep.
Because she fits in our family so well.
Yep.
But I think Cooper's brought out Nick's dog soul.
Yeah.
Yuki's brought out my dog soul.
Yep. Yeah,
if that
for
makes
sure. Yep.
sense.
Oh, totally. Because Bora has brought out all of the kids' souls. Like, man, that dog, he just can't die. He's 12 and he just can't. I mean, it's like that is like he has all three of our kids in a nutshell. And the fabulous thing is, from an emotional standpoint, Bora ultimately is Chris's dog soul, and Bora is like the Papa Bear, and that's what the kids get from him. Where Chianti is the mama, and that's what they picked out. And so it is, if you can listen to that dog soul. And I mean, it's crazy. And I don't, so people are like, why are you so good at this? It's because I'm truly not a human being inside there somewhere. And I think I've lived in my dog soul for so long that, it is an emotional thing. It's a watching thing. It's a, how do you describe that selection? And sure, there's a mechanical piece to it that everybody, any dog trainer should know. And then you have to be passionate about people.
Yeah.
And love the dynamics of people to say, if I was a dog living with you, this is the dog that I would need to be.
Yeah.
And so I'm selecting through the eyes of the dog, but also feeling who do I have to be to fit into you? And so then I go, who do you need to be to fit, as I'm looking at the litter or the dogs, and getting to know the dogs. And so it's true. And I've always felt like animals, will call you out on your shit. At some point.
Yeah.
At some point, your dog's going to go, yeah, that's really not who you are. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know why we're even going down this path, where a horse says, your soul is not telling me right, so we're just not going to do it.
Yep.
And whether you try and forcefully make something happen, it's not. Mm-hmm. And that's where Cooper finally was like, I have to finally yell for you guys to get it. Like, that's not who you are. Yeah. So why are you making me there?
Oh, 100%.
So no, I know it's weird, but there is a dog soul, I think, in everybody, mm-hmm. or an animal soul of some sort. And I think for any of us to live with an animal, somewhere you've got to have that. Somewhere you do. It's crazy because we're living with animals, you guys. We're living with them.
It's so weird to think about,
right? Yeah. So we watch these nature shows and we watch, all these, even the bears and how they're living and we can't imagine that. Like, we're going to go live in the trees and hunt, and we're going to hibernate for, 4 or 5 months at a time. And, you can't fathom that, and you can't imagine like being a monkey and living in these communities, because it doesn't make sense, but yet we're living with animals. Yeah. They're so much a part of us. And in a sense, you kind of have to live like a dog would mm-hmm. to make it work, which it's so weird to think about. And so, having the right family member, that, from an animal's perspective, it's got to fit, or mm-hmm. it just, you battle it a lot. Yeah. And I'm not saying you shouldn't battle it, because sometimes you're it. Like, we've committed to you, and we got to figure this out. And that's where dog training comes in, is helping the people mm-hmm. mold a little bit more into what the dog's mm-hmm. needs are, instead of,
forcing
this isn't the best fit, but we can make it work. And so Melissa, I through this whole thing and this matchmaking mm-hmm. Series, it's pretty emotional to me mm-hmm. To watch what I do, and I hope that you find, as a dog trainer, that same joy in that emotional side of dog mm-hmm. training, because when it's the right match, you really don't have to do much as a dog trainer.
Incredible.
It's so good. It's and that's what we want to share with everybody is you can have this too. It's pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. And so, as you go through the journey and we listen to everybody else's stories of matchmaking, I think that everybody will have that same feeling, and I hope that everybody out there listening mm-hmm. seeks that feeling that everybody that we're going to talk to has experienced. And it's that completeness, that it doesn't mean you don't need to get we're never going to get another dog because this is it, because that just doesn't make sense. Yeah. And if the right dog comes along and it just needs a home to fit in, and it fits here where we take him in. But it's that feeling of, wow, this is so amazing, mm-hmm. and I don't want to pick out my dog, because it will very, very rarely will it be the right one. Mm-hmm. I mean, and not the wrong one, but it will be more of a battle than having the right dog in your home. Mm-hmm. So. Thank you for listening. If you want to know more about us and our services, please visit our website at www.wsk9co.com. And as always, we urge you to get out and train.